Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
So today we are going to see just only one topic, which is nothing but regular expressions. So
Okay.
regular expressions is nothing but it's used for pattern matching. Okay. So basically, consider I have the names of the files like this. Like I have something like file123.txt, and I think somebody has pinged me. I think it should be Ravi. Ravi, are you able to hear me now? Because Akhilesh is able to hear. One second, he's not able to hear anything, it seems. Just a second.
Okay.
How to type the message? Reply. Reply. Should be there. Somewhere should be there, right? Okay. Hi, Ravi. Hi, Ravi. Are you able to hear me now?
I can hear you more. Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. Yeah. Okay. I think that is that
Hello?
was Akhilesh, right? Ravi.
Hello?
Ravi, are you able to hear me now?
Hello?
Ravi, I think there is some problem
Am
with
I
your
audible?
mic, man. You are audible. You are audible,
Hello?
but you are not able to hear
Got it.
from.
Now it's coming. Fine, thank you.
Now it's coming, is it?
Yeah.
All
Thank you.
right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So consider I have a file name like this. So let's say file 456.txt and file 789.txt. Okay. So if I want to receive the names of the file that is following some certain format. So basically, if you see the names of the names of these three files, it is following some unique format. That is, it is starting with the word file, followed by one underscore, and followed by three numbers, and ending with .txt. Okay, so we can just write like this: file underscore followed by three numbers like this, and then ending with .txt. So this is called as regular expression. So instead of retrieving it separately, we can create a pattern which matches more than one format of text. Okay, more than one occurrences of the format of text. We can just write only one pattern and then we can retrieve all the matched text. Okay, so basically, what we can do is, in order to implement regular expression in Python, you have to import a module called arg. RE is an inbuilt module in Python, which will be installed by default. So now I'm just going to write one common function to check the pattern in the string. I'm going to write a common function to check whether the pattern is present in the input string or not. So this function we are going to invoke for each and every pattern that we are going to see. So let me write a function def check pattern. The first parameter is pattern, and second parameter I'm going to provide a string, and then colon. Now in order to check whether pattern is present in the string or not, I'm going to use one function from RE module, which is nothing but search, re.search. So I'm just passing input pattern, comma input string, and then re.I. What is this re.I? It will ignore the case while searching for the pattern in the string. Okay, so it looks for case insensitive search, and then I can write if the pattern is present, I'm just printing pattern, comma string, comma satisfied. I'm just printing this particular text. Okay, if it is not present, if the pattern is not present, I'm just printing not satisfied. Okay, so this is what we are going to do for each and every pattern. So we are going to see all the patterns followed by the methods which is used for checking the pattern. Okay, right. So now let's get the input from the user. That is, I am writing while loop, while true, which will go for infinite number of occurrences. I can say string is equal to input of enter any string, and if the user enters end in lowercase or in any case, okay, if the user enters end as an input, I'm just coming out of the loop. If the user enters end, I'm just coming out of the loop. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just checking for simple match, that is without using any pattern. That is, I'm going to call check pattern Python comma string. So that is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check whether Python is present in the string or not. I'm just going to check whether Python is present in the string or not. That's what we are going to do with respect to this. Okay, let's execute this now. I can say Python regular expressions.py. So now if I enter Python script, you can see it is satisfied because Python is present in the input string. And if I enter script Python, you can see again it is satisfied. And if I enter script Python script, so now you can see it is satisfied. For example, if I enter the string without the presence of Python, it will say it is not satisfied because Python is not present in the input string. Okay, so basically what will happen here is, irrespective of the position, Python can be present anywhere in the string. Okay, that is the purpose of this particular things. So now let me give some patterns now. Okay, we are going to start with anchors. We have two different types of anchors. One is cap symbol, starts with, and other one is dollar symbol, ends with. So now I am writing a pattern like cap symbol, Python, comma, string, and check pattern, Python, dollar, comma, string. Okay, and then again I'm writing cap symbol and then dollar, comma, string, and then the combination. Okay, the combination of all these patterns like this. So now we have four different types of patterns. What is the first one? It's nothing but starting with Python. Our input string should start with Python. Only then this pattern will be satisfied. Second one, our input string should end with Python. Third one, string should be empty. String should not contain any characters. It should be empty. If you say just cap symbol and then dollar, our input string should be empty. And fourth one is nothing but string is exactly equal to Python. That is, string is equal to Python. Apart from Python, nothing should be present in the string. Okay, so let me execute it. Let me enter Python script. Now you know our string is starting with Python. So you can see the first one is satisfied. All others are not satisfied. Now I am writing script to Python. That is, my string is ending with Python. So now you can see the second one is satisfied, but not the others. If I am not entering any input, third one is satisfied. Okay, third one is satisfied. And now if I write Python is Python, now you can see Python is Python. That is, starting with Python, yes, it is satisfied, and ending with Python is satisfied, and the other two are not satisfied. If I want the last one should be satisfied, my input should be just Python. Okay, my input should be just Python. You can see now, starting with Python is satisfied, ending with Python is satisfied, and exactly equal to Python is satisfied. So this is what we call it as anchors. That is, we have two different types of anchors, starts with and ends with. Okay, guys, take it down, and then we'll continue with the rest of the patterns. And let me know once it is done.
मैं अपना सही नहीं करवा रही मोहन।
Okay, okay, Mohan.
Yeah.
re.I, which is what, Mohan?
See, re.I means, for example, if I give Python in capital letter, okay, that will also be satisfied.
Oh.
Okay, that is, ignore the case. For example, if I remove this, what will happen is, okay, if I remove this, if I enter in capital letter, it will say not satisfied. Okay, that is, it will ignore the case while searching for the pattern. Okay,
Okay.
Take it down. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Done.
Done, right? What about you, Akhilesh?
Yes, done.
Akhilesh?
Yeah, done, Mohan. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So next one, we are going to see the range of characters. That is, we have pair of square brackets. So whatever character that you mention within pair of square bracket, okay, so it will match only one character from the set. For example, if I say 0-9, that means it will match only one digit out of this. From 0 to 9, it will match only one digit. And also I can give A to Z, capital A to capital Z. It matches any one alphabets, and also I can give like this. So now it will match any one character from 0 to 9 or any alphabet in any case. And also I can give something like this, that is the individual characters also I can give 135 ABC space dollar percentage ampersand, like this. Okay, so like this we can give anything. Okay, so now what will happen, from these range of characters only one character will be matched. So now let me write check pattern starts with 1 to 5 followed by, let me give underscore ampersand percentage followed by W2Z and then dollar comma string. So now what will happen in this case is, our string should contain only 3 characters. The first character should be a number from 1 to 5, and the second character should be any one of special characters, that is underscore ampersand and then percentage, and the third and last character should be any one alphabet between W and Z. The order should not be changed, it should be in the same order. So now let me just execute. Let me give 5 underscore W. You can see it is satisfied. If I change the order, it will say it is not satisfied. Okay, so this is nothing but pair of square brackets. Now consider I have, okay, now consider I have group of characters. For that, we have to mention the parenthesis. That is, let me say check pattern, and then I can give, okay, within parenthesis, I am giving 5 ampersand, sorry, 5 underscore W, and then I'm just giving at the rate of W underscore 5, okay, cap symbol, and then dollar comma string. So now whatever character that you have mentioned within pair of parentheses, all the characters should be present. Okay, whatever character that you have mentioned within square bracket, only one character should be present out of those. But whatever character that you have mentioned within parentheses, only one, sorry, all the characters should be present in the same order. Okay, so now this will match 5 underscore W at the rate of W underscore 5. You can see it is satisfied. because it should be in the same order. It will be considered as a one group. Whatever you have, okay, whatever you have mentioned within parentheses, that will be considered as one group. Okay, that's why whatever is presented within the parentheses, everything should be presented in the same order. Phi underscore w at the rate of w underscore phi. Okay, that's the difference between square bracket and the parenthesis. Now we have very important pattern, which is nothing but meta characters. So we have three different types of meta characters. One is plus, other one is star, other one is question mark. So what is plus? What is plus? So plus is nothing but it matches one to many occurrences of previous character or previous group of characters. Okay, one to many occurrences. Star is nothing but it matches 0 to many occurrences of previous character or previous group of characters. And question mark is nothing but it matches 0 or 1 occurrences of previous character or previous group of character. So now consider the pattern which we have starts with A, B plus C dollar comma string. Similarly, I have in place of plus, I have two other meta characters, star and then question mark. So cap symbol AB plus C dollar, cap symbol AB star C dollar, and cap symbol AB question mark C dollar. So what is this plus? It matches one to many occurrences of previous character or previous group of character. So now what is the previous character? It is B. So between A and C, there should be minimum one occurrence, maximum any number of occurrences of B. And if you say B star, that means, okay, between A and C, there should be minimum one occurrence of, sorry, 0 occurrence of B to any number of occurrences. And if it is question mark, it matches only, that is, it matches either 0 occurrence of B or 1 occurrence of B. So basically, let me give the inputs. Let me give the inputs as AC. So what is AC? Between A and C, there are 0 occurrences of B. That is, B is absent. So it matches AB star C and AB question mark C. See here, the last two are satisfied. And if I say ABC, okay, now between A and C, there is only one occurrence of B. So it matches everything. Satisfied, satisfied, satisfied. Now if I say A n number of B and then C, so now it matches the first two, plus and star. Plus and star will be satisfied. Okay, this is nothing but meta characters. But in case of groups, let's say I have something like this. I have some group here. First, that is within parenthesis AB plus C, within parenthesis AB and then star C, within parenthesis AB question mark C. Now what will happen in this case? So now this number of occurrences will be applied for this entire group, that is group AB. Okay, AB is not BA. All right, for example, now let me give the input as C. That is 0 occurrence of AB followed by C. Right? 0 occurrence of AB followed by C. zero occurrence of AB followed by C. The last two will be satisfied. And if I say ABC, you can see here one occurrence of AB followed by C. All three will be satisfied. And now if I say AB, 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 C, that is the group should be repeated for n number of times. So now the first two will be satisfied. You can see here. And AB is not BA. I should not say BA, AB, BA, AB, BA, AB like this. I should not say that. It will be not satisfied. Okay. So these are nothing but groups of characters with respect to the meta characters. All right. Yeah. So guys, please try it out from here, from range of characters, and let me know once it is done. So guys, done? Ravi and Akhilesh?
Yeah, done, Mohan. Is there anything in the down?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next one we are going to see. Next one we have quantifiers. Okay. So with respect to plus and star, we don't have the fixed number of occurrences to be checked. For example, if you want to check mobile number, okay, with respect to regular expression pattern, so our mobile number should be fixed, right? That is, it should have only 10 digits, right? So if I'm entering the entering 11 digits as the input, it should not validate it, right? So you should throw in exception kind of, right? So what we can do is, so we can just say quantifiers, that is, which will be represented in the form of curly braces. Okay, so I can write cap symbol AB 2C $, comma string. That means it is exactly two occurrences of AB. Okay, exactly two occurrences of AB followed by C. And then I can write cap symbol AB 1, 3 and then C. That is minimum one occurrence, maximum three occurrences. Both are inclusive. Okay, over here. So I can write minimum one occurrence and maximum three occurrence. And then I can write cap symbol AB, comma 3 and then C $, comma string. That is minimum 0. Okay, it is minimum 0 occurrence and max 3 occurrence. And then at last I can have AB 3, comma and then C $, comma string. So this one I can write minimum 3 occurrence and maximum n number of occurrences. That is no defined number of occurrences with this particular case. Okay, so these are the various ways of using the quantifiers. So now if I execute, let me give the input ABC. Now we have only one occurrence of ABC. So the second and the third will be satisfied. You can see second and third will be satisfied. And if I have two occurrence of AB and then C, so the first three will be satisfied. Exactly two occurrences, minimum 1, maximum 3, minimum 0, max 3. And then if I say AB, AB, C, that is three occurrences of AB followed by C. Apart from first one, everything will be satisfied. And if I write more number of occurrences of AB followed by C, now you can see only the last one will be satisfied and nothing else. Okay, so this is what the quantifiers are.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
And next one, we have choices. We can use pipe symbol, okay, or that is I can write here, starts with P, within the group I can write either HP or ERL or script space, YTHON and then space script dollar comma string. So here we have a group, okay, we have a group and within the group I have pipe symbol. That means my string should start with P followed by either HP or ERL or YTHON and then space script. So basically it will satisfy only 3 strings. First one is PHP script, that will be satisfied, and if I write Perl script, that will be satisfied, and if I write Python script, that will be satisfied, and if I write everything PHP, ERL, YTHON, okay, script, this will not be satisfied because it will take any one combination, any one group from this particular set. That is nothing but choices. And then we have alternatives. And then we have alternatives. That is, we know the cap symbol is nothing but starting with. Okay, we know the cap symbol is nothing but starting with. So if I place the cap symbol within the square brackets, that is nothing but negation other than the character. Okay, so for example, consider I have a pattern, starts with A, 0 to 9, and then B, dollar, comma, string. So now what will happen in this case? My input should start with A, followed by any one number between 0 and 9, and it should end with B. So this is nothing but this range of characters, right? For example, now I am writing cap symbol A, within pair of square brackets I am placing cap symbol 0 to 9 and then B, dollar, comma, string. That means between A and B, any character can be present apart from a number. So this is just quite opposite to this. So as part of the line number 83, between A and B, there should be only one number. As part of line number 84, between A and B, any number can be present. Okay, sorry, any character can be present apart from a number. So whatever characters that you have mentioned in this, that should not be present. Okay, so now let's say I'm just writing A5B. That is, between A and B, I have a number. So the first one will be satisfied, the second one is not. Okay, so you can see here, satisfied, not satisfied. Now, if I write any other character apart from a number, okay, now you can see the second one is satisfied, but not the first one. You can give any characters, you can use space also. A space B, satisfied. A1B, not satisfied. A dollar percentage B, not satisfied, because there should be only one character. Okay, see here, not satisfied. But if I say A dollar B, yes, it is satisfied. A percentage B, yes, it is satisfied. So there should be any one non-digit character should be present. Okay, that is nothing but alternatives. All right, and then we have something called dot character. Dot character means period character. Okay, that is one dot represents one character. That character can be anything. Okay, for example, if I say check pattern cap symbol a dot b dollar comma string. Now in between a and b there can be any one character, but there should be one character mandatory should present. Okay, so now if I say ab, it will not be satisfied because there is no character between a and b, not satisfied. But if I say a5b, satisfied, a2b, satisfied, a percentage b, satisfied. So one character should be present. So for example, if I say two dots, now any two characters can be present between a and b. Okay, any two characters can be present between a and b. So either I can write like this, or the same regular expression pattern can be written like this, dot quantifier 2. Okay, quantifier 2. All right, so now you can see a1 to b, you can see the last two are satisfied. Both are same, there is no difference in it. Okay, here I'm directly saying dot dot b, but here I'm saying dot curly brace 2 and then b dollar I'm saying. All right, okay, so because if there are, that is if you want some 100 characters should be present between a and b, okay, it is not required to place 100 dots. What can I say? Dot within curly brace 100, I can say like that. Okay, and also I can use something like this, like a dot star b dollar comma string and check pattern cap symbol a dot plus b dollar comma string. So what is the meaning of these two? That is between a and b, 0 to any number of characters can be present, and dot plus means between a and b there should be at least one character should be present. So basically if I say ab, you can see a dot star b is satisfied, and if I say a1b, these two are satisfied. For example, if I say a1 2 3 4 5 6 and then some characters and then some special characters, something like this, and then if I say b, okay, you can see the last two are satisfied. That is between a and b any number of characters can be present. Okay, that is the purpose of this dot star. All right, okay guys, so please take it down and let me know if you have any doubts. Okay, yeah,
You were supposed to do the mobile number one, starting with
mobile
9
number
and
no mobile number I will do it. I will do it.
okay.
Okay, I will do it because for that we have to see some other pattern as well. Okay,
Yeah, and valid IP address also, if you remember.
IP address, like the thing is that is bit complicated, that will take some time because
Okay.
I don't have the predefined regular setup regular expression pattern, but that can be done because we have some restrictions, right? Like 255 characters in each and everything. Okay, so
Many rules
that's why.
are there.
Sorry.
In IP address, many rules are there.
Yes, because that will take some time actually. If you give some time, I will give you by Friday like that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because tomorrow I have some other webinar has to be taken, so tomorrow I can't work it out. So on Friday I can work it out. All right. All right, Ravi.
Yes,
Ravi.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So please take it down. Please take it down, and then let me know once it is done.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So next one we have the character class escape sequences. Okay, character class escape sequences. That is, we have something called /small d. We have something called /small d. That is, it matches any one digit. This is an alternative form for 0 to 9. Okay. And then we have /small w, which is nothing but it matches any one character from 0 to 9, small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and then underscore. And then we have /small s, that is, it will match either one space or one tab or new line character. And then we have /D, which is nothing but negation of /small d. And then we have /W, negation of /small w. And then we have /S, that is negation of /small s. So now let me write a pattern for checking the mobile number. So now I can write the pattern cap symbol 629 /D 9 and then dollar comma string. So it should start with any number between 6 and 9 followed by 9 digits. Okay, so this will validate whether the whether the input is a mobile number or not. So now let me just enter the input like this: 98765432110. You can see it is satisfied. If I start the mobile number with 4, now you can see it is not satisfied, because nowadays the mobile numbers are starting from 6 as well. Okay, and then if I want to check, that is, if I want to validate my PAN card number, I can write starts with capital A to capital Z, 5 occurrences of alphabet followed by 4 digits and ending with 1 alphabet. This is nothing but PAN card validation. Okay, so now let me just enter some valid PAN card: ABCDE 1234F. So this is nothing but the PAN card validation. And similarly, we have something called Aadhaar card, right? If you want to validate your Aadhaar card, so we all know 12 digits, okay, and 4 space 4 space 4, that is 4 digits, 1 space, 4 digit, 1 space, 4 digit, right? So I can write in a group, I can say /D /S, that is /D4 /S. It should be repeated for 2 times. Okay, it should be repeated for 2 times, and then ending with /D4 comma string. Okay, that is 4 digit and a space should be repeated for 2 times and ending with 4 digit. So now you can see 987654321098. It's a Aadhaar card number. Okay, it's a Aadhaar card number. So like this, we can validate anything using this particular stuff. All right. So now, so far we have seen the different types of patterns. Now we are going to see the methods. That is, first we are going to start with search and match. Okay, so let's see. First search method, I can write search is equal to re.search, and then I'm writing the pattern /d3 comma string. Okay, so what is this pattern? Any 3 digits, right? Any 3 digits, irrespective of the positions. I didn't mention cap symbol or then dollar. The 3 digits can be present anywhere in the string. Now I am writing if searched, I am printing the content of this variable, that is what this search method will return, searched. And now let me do it for match. Match is equal to re.match and then /d3 comma string. Okay, and then let me write if matched print matched comma matched. So let's try it out now. Let me give the input as 1, 2, 3 ABC. Okay, so what is our pattern? Any 3 digits, irrespective of the positions. Okay, so now you can see both search and match are returning the same output called re.match object, and span is equal to 0, 3. It is nothing but the position where that particular pattern is present in the string. So index 0, index 1, index 2. So start index is 0, end index is 2, 2 plus 1, 3. And then match is equal to 1, 2, 3. That is, what is the pattern that matches the string? Okay, that you can see 1, 2, 3. So now both search and match are returning the same result. Then what is the difference between search and match? Okay, so let me give the input as ABC space 1, 2, 3. Okay, ABC space 1, 2, 3. So now what will happen in this case? You can see only search has written the result but not match. So that means search method looks for the pattern. Okay, search looks for the pattern anywhere in the string, irrespective of the positions. But match looks for the pattern only at the beginning of the string, only at the beginning of the string. That is nothing but match. Okay, pattern should be present in the beginning. After the pattern, anything can be present. Okay, and now we have some attributes here like start index, end index. Okay, and also we have the text which is satisfying the given pattern. How to retrieve those? So for that, if I want to retrieve, what can I do is I can write start position, that is start index. Okay, I can just say searched dot start, then I can give end index, that is searched dot end, and then I can give matched text with the pattern. I can give searched dot group, searched dot group. So now if I say the output, sorry, input, let's say 1, 2, 3 space ABC space 4, 5, 6. So now you can see start index is 0, end index is 3, matched text is 1, 2, 3. But if you see my input, there are 2 occurrences of the given pattern. Okay, that is any 3 digits, any successive 3 digits is nothing but our pattern, right? So now we have 2 two occurrences of our pattern, but both search and match method will retrieve only the first occurrence of the pattern. Okay, if I want to retrieve all the occurrences of pattern, I have to write find all. Okay, so I can say all occurrences. Okay, I can write re dot find all pattern, okay, comma string. Okay, and if you want to have ignore case, yes, you can have it re dot I. Okay, you have to just use re dot find all. Okay, so now you can see if I give 1 2 3 ABC 4 5 6 DEF 7 8 9. So now we have three occurrences. So now you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. All occurrences have been retrieved. For example, if I give like this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now we have only two occurrences. That is 1 2 3 is first occurrence and 4 5 6 is second occurrence. But 7 8 is left out. We don't have that. You can see only two occurrences have been received. Okay, so this is nothing but find all. So similarly, we have something called split. So we had seen the split method with respect to string. Based on some delimiter, we can cut down the string to various portions. Now consider I have a string like this. Okay, now I have a string like this. Okay, now I want to cut it down based on any three alphabets. That is not possible with string dot split, right? Because over there I can use only the fixed characters, either ABC or DEF I can use, but not both. So if you want to separate the strings based on one pattern, you have to use re dot split. Okay, so I can write splitted string. Okay, split. I can just say re dot split. Then I can just write the pattern, comma string, and if you want to ignore the case, yes, you can. Okay, that is optional parameter only. Okay, so now what will happen? Let's see. Now let me give the input as ABC 1 2 3, DEF 4 5 6, GHI 7 8 9, and then JKL 102 MNO. Okay, so now you can see the output like this. So find all has received all the occurrences of the pattern like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 102. Okay, and then split. You can see. Okay, why it is coming like this? Because the maximum split is set to that one, I think. One second. Max split. What is the problem here? Let me just copy this. Yes, because by default, the maximum split is set to 2. Okay, so that's the reason it was not doing really well. Okay, so now I have changed it to max split is equal to 4. Okay, so that's why it has splitted like 1 2 3 4. Okay, so now you can see if I set it as 3, you can see the last one would never been done. Okay, if I set it to 3, now you can see only 3 portions will be splitted. Okay, so 3 plus 1, it will be 4. That will be the input. Okay, see here, you can see JKL102, it is not taken. Okay, so you can have some parameter called max split, and then based on that you can split it. All right, yeah, so these are the methods that we have. Okay, yeah, take it down, and then we will see some more stuff with respect to regular expression. We have the concept of groupings. Okay, so please take it down. So guys, please let me know once it is done, and we will see the concept of groupings with respect to search method.
Mohan, can you go down?
This is the last, I think.
Okay, this is the last statement, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
can you
yeah.
show me the output also for that 106 part?
106
Row number.
is it? Yeah, 106, you have it over here.
Okay. Not
So it
session.
should be 4 digit, 1 space, 4
Yeah, yeah,
digit,
yeah.
4 digit.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's done for me,
So
Mohan.
done. Yeah, yeah. Ravi, is it done? Ravi?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
One
now,
thing, how to get these files? Are you uploading these files?
yes, yes, yes. Every day I'm uploading, man.
So recording, I saw that section, and where is down files? I could not figure out. So,
Under session 1, session 2, session 3.
oh, like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I will search,
So,
find.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Today's files will be uploaded in session 7.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So now let me come out of the loop now. Okay. So let's have the pattern like this. Okay. Let's say pattern is equal to Python, that it starts with Python space dot star. Okay. And I can write script, and it is developed by dot star and then dot dollar. Okay. So I have a pattern like between Python and script. You can have any number of characters, and also it is developed by, and then you can have any number of characters over here, and it should end with dot. So now consider, I'm just going to get the input from the user. Okay. All right. So let me just include it in the loop itself. Sorry guys, let me include in the loop itself. Okay. This is nothing but concept of grouping. All right. So now I'm just going to use search method itself. Search is equal to re.search. Okay, and then I can write pattern, comma, string, input string. Okay. Now if searched, I'm just printing searched. I'm printing the entire object now, and then I'm saying print all groups. That is searched dot groups. So what is the difference between group and groups? I am writing search dot group and then groups. Okay. So now whatever you have mentioned within parentheses, this is called groups. Group is nothing but without any parameters. If you say search dot group, it will retrieve the entire pattern, that is entire string that matches the given pattern. If you say groups, whatever characters which are present in this particular place, only that will be retrieved in the form of tuple. Okay, only that will be retrieved in the form of tuple. Okay, so that is, this is first group and this is second group. Okay, so now let me just execute it. Let's say Python is an efficient script, and it is only, right, we have, yeah, it is developed by Guido van Rossum . So now, what are the characters which are present in place of dot star? That is, first dot star is nothing but is an efficient.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
And what are the characters which are present in the second dot star is nothing but Guido van Rossum. Okay, now you can easily retrieve it. So let me just copy this out, okay, because I'm going to reuse it. So now you can see all groups is an efficient and then Guido van Rossum. Okay, let me just put some separator and then let's see. Okay, let me just execute it. So you can see group is nothing but the entire string which is satisfied with the given pattern. All groups is nothing but it's a tuple, whatever characters which is present in place of this particular parenthesis. Okay, now if I want to retrieve it separately, what you can do is, let's write group 1. Okay, I can write search dot group of 1 and then group 2 search dot group of 3, sorry, group of 2. Okay, so if you are not passing any parameter, the entire string that matches the satisfied pattern, okay, satisfy the given pattern, will be retrieved. But if you take the parameter, okay, if you take the parameter, it will just return the particular group. So if you say search dot group of 1, it will retrieve the characters only part of this particular group. And if you say search dot group of 2, it will retrieve a set of characters that are part of this particular group. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, because I have one extra space here, that is the reason. Let me just remove the space. So now you can see group 1 is an efficient and group 2 is nothing but Guido van Rossum. Okay, so using this groupings concept, you can retrieve the particular text, okay, particular text which falls within some certain location. Okay, so for IP address, right, you can just use this particular configuration. Okay, right, so now we have something called raw string. So what is that raw string? Okay, so that is, let's say string is equal to, this is not /n raw string, and I am writing raw string is equal to, this is /n raw string. So now let's print these two, string and print raw string. That is, whenever you prefix r to the particular string, okay, whenever you prefix r to the particular string, that becomes a raw string. That is, all escape sequences will lose its meaning. Okay, all escape sequences will lose its meaning. All right, so that is, now what will happen, this will just, okay, this will just print the /n character as it is. Okay, that is, /n will not be substituted as a Boolean character, that will be printed as it is. That is nothing but raw string. Okay, So I will explain more on this. Okay, so please take this down and then I will explain it. And let me know once it is completed. Okay. So let me know once it is done.
Around punctually, मैं mail forward करूँगी.
Yeah, it's done, Mohan. Yeah.
It's done, right? Ravi, is it done? Okay. Right.
Yes.
So, yeah, fine, Ravi, fine, Ravi. So now consider you have some dynamic string. Okay. You have some string like this. String is equal to Python is an efficient script /n, and then it is developed by Guido. Okay, so consider you have something like this. So now if I print this string, right, what will happen? You can see that /n will be printed. Okay, so now consider you are retrieving some dynamic string from some external function, and if you want to convert that to some raw string, how you can convert it? What you can do is you can say raw string is equal to %r. Within double quotes you can say %r and then percentage, and then you can pass the parameter string. Okay, so now what will happen? So basically it's not at all required to have some parenthesis. You can give like this. So now if you print that raw string, you can see that \n is getting printed as it is. Okay, you can see here Python is an efficient script /n, it is developed by Guido. Where it is being used with respect to regular expression, that is, you can prefix any of the pattern. Okay, you can prefix any pattern with respect to like or, because /d is nothing but it's a kind of a backslash. That is, it's kind of escape sequence, right? Okay, so wherever you are using backslash in your pattern, you can just use it. See, for example, consider I have a string. Okay, string is equal to Python script is on. I'm doing Python script is on, something like that. Now consider I want to find on. Okay, I want to find the on. So what we can do in this case, let me say search. Using search, I'm just finding it, re.search. Okay, and then I'm just writing on comma string, and also I'm using find all. Okay, using find all, that is re.find all on comma string. So what will happen now? So basically find all finds all occurrences of on. Here I'm not placing any anchors, so it finds all the occurrences of on. So I have two occurrences, right? Python and then word on. Okay, so now if you execute this, what will happen? Search will find the on which is present part of Python, and find all finds all the occurrences of on. Like we have two occurrences of on. Okay, now consider the scenario. You want to find the word on. I want to find the word on. How can I find the word on? That is, as part of this particular string, I can give space on. If I give the space on here, it finds the word. Okay, it finds the word, but still the space will be present in the output. Okay, you can see the space is present in that ON. You can see. But I don't want the space has to be retrieved. And ON can be present anywhere in the string. Okay, it can be present at the beginning, it can be present at the end, or it can be present in between. If it is present at the beginning, I have to give on space. If it is present in between, I have to give space, ON space. And then if it is present at the end, I have to give space ON. And any character can be the word separator. It is not mandatory that only space will be used as the word separator. I can use comma also. I can use comma also. Now, if I want to find the word ON, I want to change the pattern. I want to change the pattern here. Right? See here. Now you can see comma on. So now I want to write some generic pattern that has to be worked with all kinds of strings. Okay. So for that, what we can do is we can use something called /b. /b. What is this /b in general? With respect to Windows or Unix, /b represents some backspace character or some junk character. Okay, so now if I execute, it will not return anything. See here, search is none, find all is nothing. So now, but with respect to regular expression, search, that is /b is nothing but word boundary. That is, I need to prefix or, because we have to escape the escape sequence. The meaning of escape sequence shouldn't be considered. Okay, that's why we are prefixing or. So now what will happen? It looks for the word ON. It looks for the word ON. So now look at the difference in the output. You can see re.match object span is equal to 17, 19. Match is equal to just ON and then ON. I can have any character here. See, I can have semicolon also or pipe also. Any character can be act as a word separator. Now you can see on. There is no change in the output. If I give even pipe, okay, so now you can see the output on. No changes in the output. So /b, okay, as part of the escape sequences, it represents either a backspace character or a junk character. But as part of regular expressions, if you convert it to raw string, /b is nothing but word boundary. So it is used for whole word search. Okay, so this is nothing but raw string. So sorry. So you can include, that is, you can prefix or to any of the patterns, no matter at all. Okay, so it will not cause any issue at all. You can have anywhere this particular or. All right. Yeah. So guys, please take it down. So that's it for today, guys. So this is the entire concept of regular expression. Okay. So tomorrow we will see classes and objects and exception handling, and day after tomorrow we will see modules and packages. So that comes to the end of the training program.
Okay.
So Python is totally object-oriented programming language.
No, it's not completely object-oriented programming. So you can do either object-oriented or structural-oriented. See, because here we have written only structure-oriented programming, right? We didn't write any of the classes so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so Python supports both the way of programming. It's not pure object-oriented programming.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. So any doubts you have? And today's
No
files
more,
are
no more.
uploaded. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can just check it out, guys. Okay.
Okay.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.